Less than 2 weeks to go for election, and we talk politics all the time. But I have with me Kavitha, who always wears the role of a politician. No, she always also wears the role of someone who is able to mix with everyone, very easily talk to everyone. All of us know about, when it comes to news, you say the liquor scandal and Kavitha's name comes up, or you talk about the women's reservation bill and Kavitha's name comes up. Today I'm going to talk to you about other issues. Are you dad's girl?
Absolutely. Dad's girl and mom's pet too, but dad's girl mostly.
Your brother, in fact, told us that he would not like to be the kind of dad to his kids like your dad has been to him.
Well, my dad has always been busy, gave less time, and unfortunately, my brother was in the hostel most of the time, where I was at home. So, whatever lucky few minutes I got it for myself. So, I don't regret it.
Okay. The criticism against Mr. KCR has been that he is not accessible to people at all. Even ministers and MLAs complain about this. Can you just walk into his room, or do you need an appointment to meet him?
No, in fact, anybody can walk into his office. All the MLAs, ministers have the access to him. And he does not believe in holding a Praja Darbar, etc., because he believes that everybody in the government should be working. So, Chief Minister meeting a person who needs a pension or to be corrected some name in an Aadhaar card or a ration card. Chief Minister should not be doing such menial things. These things have to be addressed as a part of the system. So that is why he doesn't directly meet people. But yes, whenever he goes out, he sees anything, any issues on the social media, he reaches out to many people directly. You've seen it on media many times. He calls up people directly, talks to them. And he's very accessible, and lucky me, I can walk into his room anytime.
Okay. Your family, everyone seems to be gifted with the gift of the gap, should I say. Is that something that you think came with genetics or a lot of practice? I mean, were you this before you came into politics too?
I think I was always a reasonably well-spoken person. I think it comes with a lot of interest that you put in, working on your communication skills and working in US, etc., studying BTech and all. So I think I do have that interest in myself too.
Certainly, your dad has the gift of the gap, and that genetics also obviously helped.
Definitely, and I'm blessed to be his daughter. But he's much more better than all of us. So.
Okay, you're someone who is always so immaculately, nicely dressed as well. Do you have any favorites in terms of fabric, or do you have a personal stylist?
I do not have a stylist. I always wear mostly South Indian saris, but I also wear a lot of Chanderi, Madhya Pradesh, a lot of Kota saris.
I remember you in jeans and so on, but is this the attire of a politician now, so that you're like, okay, this is someone we used to need to treat as a serious woman?
Yes, absolutely. As a politician, I think it's my job, and in my job, I just definitely need to be dressed in a certain way for people to feel that I'm one among them. They can approach me. So when you see, I'm not dressed differently from any other woman on the street, and that's why they come hug me, talk to me directly. I'm more approachable that way. When you're in a jeans and a kurta, yes, that's very comfortable, but I believe then they don't take you very seriously in this profession. I've seen that. When I was running my NGO, I was always in a jeans and a kurta, but after I came into politics, I started wearing saris.
You're also someone who takes your role as a mother very seriously. I've seen you discuss issues, challenges of youngsters growing up. Is that something that you regret? Because obviously, as a politician, do you think you are able to give time actually?
No, I take out time. I take out time for my kids, however busy I am. If my kids don't turn out to be good, then there is no purpose to my life, is what I feel. So I take it very seriously. At least once in a week, I take an off, talk to them, address their issues. And of course, unless it's a busy time like elections like this, I definitely take time off for my kids.
One is about taking time out for the kids, but you have been someone who has been an advocate of Telangana culture, and that is how people started recognizing you first, isn't it? Is that something that you developed? You knew that is a niche that could be occupied, and it is actually soft power.
No, I do like my culture quite a bit. I have been a part of these festivities myself, growing up, going back to village, my grandmother, etc. They have a larger influence. We're a huge family as well. Like my father has 9 sisters. My mother has 3 siblings as well, so it's a huge family. Our family gathering is a small size party, so that way we are very culturally oriented, the whole of the family. And when the movement, Telangana movement started, I always felt that it is important to highlight our culture, because our culture was always slighted and not treated well in United Andhra Pradesh. So I made sure that, and my inspiration to do that is Bal Gangadhar Tilakji. I drew inspiration from him when I took up this Patkama festival and tried to highlight it.
You have spoken about women's reservation and said that your party has been no different in not being able to give enough number of women candidates seats or allocating them the tickets of the party. Does that happen in your family as well? Because very naturally, when people talk about options for CM, they only talk either KTR or they talk about Harish. Is that something that you do feel your gender makes difference?
Not really. I think I have some more time to go for that to be called myself eligible to that position, because I'm certainly a junior member in the party. I'm working my way up. I won an election, I lost an election, whereas all of them have been 4 times, 3 times elected, and they're active in the party. I'm yet to learn more. I'm yet to grow more and be more in the party and in the people. And I'm sure one day I'll come to that position.
This BJP leaders talking about the fact that, oh, Kavitha is going to get arrested yesterday. Did that give you sleepless nights? Because it couldn't have been an easy time for either your mother, your father is a politician, so he may be able to cope better with it, and your children.
See, we are a normal middle class family. So if there is anything like that, it comes to a position where one of the family members will be missing for a certain time, it will be very hard on everybody, including my father, brother, mother, my brother's wife, my husband's side. Everybody was definitely very, very anxious, very worried. What is this happening, etc. I remember my mother-in-law crying a lot. We are very attached, very close as a family, very closely knit family, on both sides. I'm very lucky to have that support. But I do understand that if you've not done anything wrong, nothing is going to come back to you. And I have not done anything wrong. I'm not involved in this whole, whatever scam scheme that they're calling. And I do immensely trust the justice system. And I hope I'll find some respite. If the government is trying to do some excesses, I'm sure I'll find some respite in the courts.
Did you try to protect your children, keep them away from the news? Because obviously there is a lot. I remember Mr. KTR talking about the fact that, there is body shaming that happened of his children, and his children get unfortunately targeted for no fault of theirs.
No, I did not. I, in fact, sat down both of my sons, told them that this is what is happening. One of my son lives in US, so when he came back for holidays, or even when he was there, I explained it to him. There's a lot of political campaign going on against me, but I'm not involved in anything. But there could be chances of, extreme things happening. I prepared them. Kids nowadays understand very quickly, and my kids always have been very adult-like, as in we communicate very well. I speak like an adult with them always, even since the age of 4 or 5 years. It's a culture in my family, at least, that I inculcated. So they understand. They were worried, but then they're also confident and very supportive.
Okay, I'll ask you a politician role model, but don't tell me a Mother Teresa, Miss India, Miss Universe kind of answer. Beyond your family.
Beyond my family, in India, I used to like Sushma Swaraj a lot. She's no more. I used to like Jaya Madam a lot. Jaya Lalita. Jaya Lalita a lot. Then current politics, I think Mamta, of course, is very good, very active lady, Mamta Di. But in male politicians, I think nobody to match Pinarayi Vijayan other than, after my dad. I think the kind of functions that we see, or the kind of real politics that you see, Pinarayi Vijayan is very, very, very political. And then Ashok Gehlot, I think, is also his political acumen is quite high. Nitish ji to an extent, but yeah, I think Ashok Gehlot is also very...
That's interesting. You left out maybe a very articulate person like Shashi Tharoor.
Shashi Tharoor, see, I'm talking about leaders, not politicians. So a person who's leading a state is what I'm talking about. Shashi Tharoor is a good friend, dear friend, articulate, but politically it's a different thing when you compare. You can't compare Shashi Tharoor to Ashok Gehlot or Vijay, Pinarayi Vijayanji. So they're very different breed.
Okay. You have been an advocate of women coming into politics with your women's reservation bill. What qualities does it really take for people to come into politics? And would you tell youngsters that yes, this is an option that you must exercise proactively?
They should absolutely take this option, especially girls. But see,
isn't it a very frustrating profession?
Not at all, not at all, not at all. As long as you are sincere, you don't treat it as a part-time profession, then you'll be very successful in politics. Unfortunately, now everybody treats it as a part-time politician, a position where you can just come and try your luck and then go back if you lose an election. But that is not what it is. If your heart is really into service, if your heart is really into policy making, if your heart is really into understanding what can change or move a nation in either direction, I think then you should really come into politics. Otherwise, it's waste of time. Waste of time for people and you as well, because then it gets very frustrating. But to live and work in Indian politics is not easy because we are too populous. And a member of parliament has to address 15 to 17 lakh people. Imagine the ratio of the requests that you get. So it can be very hectic. So one has to be very, very dedicated. One has to be very, very committed to be in politics. And ups and downs are way too many. They should have the guts and the courage to face all of that. Otherwise, it's not easy.
And what does your day usually look like? I mean, election times must be really bad. This is my final one because we are heading into elections. And do you follow a particular routine, fitness routine, diet?
I'm a very early rising person. 3:34 I'm up and I do my yoga, puja, everything even before 6:30. Because 6:30 is when my son
You took
leaves.
after the dad. I mean, your brother doesn't sound so religious in any way.
I'm very religious. I'm very, very religious. I strongly believe in God. 6:30 is when my son leaves to school. So that one golden hour I don't want to miss. So that's why I come back to my home wherever I am traveling at any cost. So I can spend that time with him. 6:30 to, because 1-2 साल के बाद में वो भी चला जाएगा अभी. So he's become big now. So that's 6:30 to 7:30 and then rest is, the day starts and it's completely appointments, etc. So it goes on.
And what are your best qualities you think which make you into the successful politician that you are?
I'm, I think, very, very responsible person. If somebody tells me something, I take it very seriously. I don't take it slightly because as long as you can understand that the other person has come to you because he has an issue or a problem, he or she, and then if you can take it up and work on it, that I do. I mean, some works get done, some works don't. But at least you should try. That I do.
And the 2019 defeat, was it very personal? And when you say that you're going to contest 2024, will it also be revenge?
Any defeat will be definitely personal. And that is why also I said I take it as a personal responsibility of mine. It's not parties, it's not anybody's defeat. It's my own defeat. It's a good learning for me actually. In the last 5 years, I've understood who is who, what is what, how people treat you when you're down, how people treat you when you're up and victorious, etc. So it's a very good learning for me. And yes, this is revenge. This is going to come back. Not revenge on a particular person, but I think I myself have to prove it to myself that, I can win back the trust of my people. That's important.
Thank you so much and best wishes. So that's Kavitha, candid, saying what she says and with the clarity that she brings to whatever she says. In Hyderabad with camera person Nagraju, Sudhir, NDTV.